Hey guys, some days, past weeks, I've been thinking when will I have a moment where everything will be quiet as it used to be. And sitting here, I just realized I was sitting here for the past 10 minutes and it's quiet. It's finally starting to get quiet enough where, you know, yeah, this is catching up with Wajeeh, and I am Wajeeh. This is the sixth episode, I believe, or the sixth podcast. Yesterday, I had my friend on, one of my oldest friends, one of my biggest supports, I would say, in terms of work, in terms of just support in life, man. Um, Not like he's been carrying me in a freaking baby carrier or something, but you know, you need a set of brothers around you. You know, when you need it, especially the strongest of the strongest need that. You know, yeah, definitely. It's a hard reality people wake up to. You know, half of your young life you strive to be alone and strive to be better, and you have this ego almost built up where you're like, you know, I'm gonna do everything on my own. I'm gonna make it. I'm strong enough. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. You have all these ambitions, and they're still there, you know. But you come to realize that all of that, yes, that can drive you and make you better, and you know, get you doing things. It builds up on you, um, and it's not always negative, and it's not always positive. It's somewhere in between, you know. I always believe this, you know, when something good happens, I always think about this specific moment, like, oh, this could happen to me. I don't get too excited about it. I get happy about it, but it's like, will there be consequences? Like, am I getting this too early, or what am I gonna give? What have I given, or what will I give that I have received this, you know? It's not in a negative sense, but it's more to prepare myself to be ready for, you know, life in a way. I know that sounds a bit weird, but yeah, in case you're wondering, this is just a Pakistani dress. uh, this is called a kurta shalwar. I usually wear it since I'm from Pakistan, and that's my origin, you know, that's my roots. So I love to wear this on Friday, and yeah, I really do enjoy it. I do need to get a haircut and get, you know, this in order. But yeah, man, I think it's good if everyone see, if you don't receive anything, not all or not everything has to be negative. Not that I'm saying you don't need to take things negatively, because taking things negatively also has a net positive effect on you later in life, because you do get to realize, I think it's for everybody. At some point in their life, they realize, okay, that, you know, what it could be, whatever, you know, that bad thing, that bad experience, that bad feeling, that broken leg, that you know, a bad haircut, anything, was because of this or that, and because of that, I'm here now. It's pretty good, man. it clears you up a lot. When you think about things in that sense, it clears you up and sets you up in a positive way. That's good. I was just, I didn't finish that podcast yet, but I was listening to Andrew Huberman with DJ Shipley, and DJ Shipley is a Navy SEAL, and he's a special operative Navy SEAL, which means he's a rank higher above, and he's done crazy stuff. And what I was hearing from their conversation was even that guy who's been through the toughest of the toughest challenges in his life, both physically and mentally, he's still susceptible or still very sensitive to the whole um, tune of things, the whole vibe of things, the whole feel of things around him, especially with his morning routines and getting things in order. There's no missing that. And I was thinking and realizing that much of my earlier life, besides this past year, I was pretty much in that similar loop where I would wake up, I would be like, I need to get in water, wash my face, straight to the workout. And workout was something that I think kept me going for the past 4 or 5 years. One of the groundings, I would say. And of course, faith and prayers and everything, that all adds up. There's no doubt about that. It's good, man. It's good to realize all those things. It's the same with um, the lead singer from Creed, Scott Stapp. Like his life, I was listening to one of his podcasts with Theo Mon. Bro, he went through a lot, especially in his childhood and everything. It's crazy to think how people, like I was thinking, it's crazy how people can change no matter what the consequences are, no matter how deep, dark they were, no matter where they ended up being. It could be drugs, it could be mentally, it could be everything. And then they still bounce back up. Isn't it amazing to just think about it? Like, what would be that trigger to tell you to just be like, shut up and wake up, or like, enough? I've come to realize some of those moments in my own life as well, where I was like, enough. This is it. No more. No more freaking wallowing around. No more. No more. And then, boom. There was like a switch, and it's like momentum. You need to do the initial push. You need to push through the first of the momentous days you're gonna have. Could be positive or could be negative too. It's like both ways. If you push it in a positive way and you keep going in a positive way, it builds up like a habit, and then you can look at the science behind it, and it's like habit forming, and then dopamine, and then everything starts to connect, and you start to understand why things are as they are, both mentally, and why it's hard to leave those things, and how the neural circuits in the brain, like, they make this pathway, and now you're stuck in this loop, so to say. And if you need to break that loop, you need to work on it actively and focus, and repetitive behaviors of, the other way around. I hope you get what I'm trying to say, and break that habit, break that neural pathway, and turn it off. Of course, it takes a little bit, but it's worth it. If you want to change, it's worth it then. And then you look back, you're like, what the fuck? How was, why, and what? And it's like, And I was saying this in an earlier podcast as well, where bad things don't come at you once. Like they don't come at you like one at a time. It's like you're stacking them up without even realizing. And then one day it's just like the hammer comes down, the hammer of God. That's it, bro. Boom. No more abusing this body with all this nonsense that you're carrying. And then all at once the dam breaks. And then you're damned for a couple of days or weeks or perhaps months for people who, you know, just depends. Everyone's different. Yeah. I was listening to this song and the thought came up in my head. It's been there because the voice is very haunting. Not haunting. Even the tune itself is very haunting. Almost nostalgic. Almost like you're in that moment. The song's name is it's a pretty weird name, but the song is amazing. Black Shape. Let me just look quickly see the name. Black Shape. I'll just show you the name so you can see. That's the name. Yeah. And I know the song has a different meaning, and I was not looking at the video just for this purpose because I just wanted to think about what I saw and just imagine that. Like, the girl is there, and then I think she's having some issues, and then eventually she finds that person and kills them, or finds that thing, whatever it is. But the main part I wanted to discuss was all this time there was a meteoroid coming in on Earth while she was doing all of this, and this meteoroid was bound to destroy everything, even her and everything around her, and everything. It was just end of the world. And I was thinking, what would I be doing if I knew that comet was going to hit the Earth? And if you twist the story a little bit and imagine you don't know when death arrives at your doorstep, you know. It's the same with misfortune as well, or bad luck as well. I wrote it here somewhere. Let me just find it. Yeah, the connection between living the moment versus thinking, because death arrives and misfortune never the same, knocks before kicking in the door. So essentially, like, it's there outside, it's just there outside. You don't know when it's just gonna fucking kick in the door. Because it's gonna kick in the door. Trust me, it's gonna kick in the door. And you won't realize until it's too late. Most of the time. So, yeah, like imagine if the comet was coming. What would you do, those last moments? It's tough to think, tough to think in that way. To know that the end is here. I'm not saying it in a negative sense, like what would be the best thing you could do? I mean, of course, everyone's gonna be like with their family or be, glad that they had enough time to do what they did and, at least be content or satisfied. And then imagine if you just wake up from it and you're like, oh, it was a dream. Imagine the gratitude you'll have for just breathing and living and having another day. And then you can put some more future building in place and imagine, what if you were with your friends of your choice, and family of your choice, and have the dream house that you wanted and the dream destination you wanted, the amount of money you wanted, the family and the wife you wanted, and the kids perhaps, and imagine all of them and these things. Wouldn't you want that? Like, now that you have this moment, now that you can, wouldn't you give it your all just to achieve that? And then that's not the end, because you gotta make sure not to get greedy, but to make sure to protect everything and make sure it lasts, make sure it has an impact on the future generations in a way. Not to be a preacher or not to be preachy or anything like that, but just to instill those morals and values and, you know, to be humble enough in a way. Because I believe every single person goes through something similar. You look at the people on the street, and that guy has been through some things. That homeless guy, that guy in the shop, the guy who's buying, the guy who's the cashier, the guy who's the manager. Every one of those guys have gone through these growing stages or are in different growing stages. And when you start to look at people that way, you get to realize sometimes why they are or why they are behaving or being in a certain way. And you would understand it, be more understanding than how you would be if you weren't aware. In general, just being kind, no matter what, I hope God blesses that on everyone. Yeah, that's something. That's something. I won't go deep into that, but yeah. So this Scott Stapp thingy, man, that was his music is really good as well, especially Weathered and With Arms Wide Open, Higher. All those songs are really good. Yeah, those songs were, and it's amazing. Like he did put, some hope in those songs, where when you're listening to them, they start to sound grimy, but then you get that, hope. It's amazing. And I was just realizing, like, even at his age, I'm not calling him old, but I'm just saying, as a general human species, he's older than most, or he's reaching that. Um, I don't want to be rude. I really like him, but he's reaching that old stage, right? And he went through so many things, and yet he's still willing to, you know, keep going. And it's like, okay, then why not you? I'm just thinking generally, people who just want to die. Why not you? I'm not trying to be preachy, but I'm just thinking, like, why don't people just go and look at other older people who have gone through, if not similar, worse situations, and they're still like, okay, I need to keep going. There's something there, like, we don't see it. There's this glowing light, man. It's so blinding that you almost believe that it's not there, or it's so blinding that you don't even pick up the feeling that it's so bright over there. or it's just blinding, it just blinds you essentially. There's so many possibilities. Perhaps that's one thing, that there's so many, possibilities where you could succeed, grow, do so many things that is almost overwhelming. So you're like, oh, you just feel hopeless in a way. Or you're like, okay, what if I get there? What then? I get that part. Okay, what then? Well, motherfucker, once you reach there, then think about it. There's no point in thinking about that. You need to come back here, in this moment, and focus on what you have, man. Focusing on that, focusing now. Uh, Earlier today, before I left my home, I didn't sleep much. Um, I noticed, I would say this is something really good. If you can, try to journal your day, or at least the first part of your morning. Not like write paragraphs to yourself and shit like that. But I mean, write your workout. That's what I do. Which body part did I work out, and what were the sets? That's it. Just one liner. And whatever, like, if I'm not feeling I'm not feeling to exercise, or if I'm feeling strained, or if I'm feeling tired, I won't write it. I will just write warm up and rest, or like warm up and then tired. I'll write whatever I'm feeling, and I'll know what I wrote. So I was just looking back, like the previous month, and it was the same pattern that I have done before as well, where it's like I knew like something was not right, so I kept pushing even more. It's like, oh, my arm's strained, let me fuck the other arm up as well. Oh, okay, both arms are strained, let me fuck both my legs up. Amazing. great great fucking strategy. And I was like, oh my god, what the fuck did I do to myself? And yeah, boom, everything clicked in. I just looked back, and I realized I repeated one of my same patterns. um, just going, I won't call it too hard, but I just strained myself. And I'm saying all of this not to like freaking vent or something, but I'm just telling you to write down, and then you can track back what you did and what you didn't. And you could write more or less, it just depends on you. And you can track a lot of things, you can make sense of a lot of things, especially if you want to make sense of things. Why is this happening, why is that happening? It's good to have data in a way, even on yourself. Yeah. So I didn't work out today, and then I just did like, just some bitch workout, just light warm up, and I took a cold shower. Been wanting to do that, and oh yeah, it was worth it. And then I didn't sleep much, so I just sat there. And I've been reading up on meditation and what it is. Meditation is, in simple terms, just a word where you just focus on your breath, and you try to keep your focus there regardless of what the thoughts are coming and going. But you need to keep your focus on the breath. You just need to focus. Inhale, long exhale. Inhale, long exhale. And I was doing that. I think I reached the 6 minute mark, and I almost dozed off into sleep. Like, I felt like I did like a NSDR, non sleep deep rest. I believe that's the right word. Yeah. Like, I woke up, not woke up, but like, oh, as soon as that doze fell off, like I woke up, I was like, my sister called me actually. Low-key, I got annoyed, but I felt fresh, man. I was like, damn, I could feel that dopaminergic feeling, you know. I was like, whoa, okay. So I might try some of those. Okay, so I have one more thing. Oh yeah, this was something that I read on Instagram. I'm trying to limit my use for social media, and I've done that to a lot of extent. Social media, not all of it is bad, but enough of it is bad where if you like, if you if you don't use it, I think it's gonna give you a net positive result. I'm not saying like in short term it might feel like it's like not so beneficial, but long term overall quality of life, I think it's gonna increase for sure. I can almost bet on that. But short term, I can't say. I really can't. And then you can say, you know, who knows when you'll die, so fuck it. I guess. I mean, you could take that. You could take that too. Just depends. Being selfish is important as well, like I was saying. Because if you're being selfish in the right way, taking care of yourself, and I mean taking care of yourself in every aspect, like mentally, spiritually, and then physically. And if you're selfish about that, I think it's very, very beneficial for the people around you. It sets up the tone, and that's something that DJ Shipley was also talking about. Yeah. So on Instagram, I read like, how do you know? No, no, no. On Instagram, the post said something like this: if your muscles, if you need to get stronger, and I mean physically, your muscles need to tear, not like tear, like your muscles need to tear, and then they need to grow. Then once they tear, then they're gonna grow, or once they get strained enough, then they're gonna grow. Those micro fractures and stuff, you know. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So then it said, why would it be different for the mind or for the spirit? And I was like, how would you know you're like essentially like it's training your spirit or your mind? Like how would you even know that? Like, because if muscles get sore, you feel them, like, ah shit, my arm's sore, or ah shit, my legs are sore. How would you know, like, if your mind or your body is sore? And I was like, oh, well, for the mind, it's gonna be like, I can't do this, or like, what, like, all that general symptoms of the mental thingies. And then the same goes for faith. When your faith is weak, it's like, oh, it's strained. You need to rest it, or you need to direct it, or heal it. And it could be different ways, but ah. So whenever there's a weakness in mind or body, and you are aware of that, you could flip it. You could say, ah, it's gonna build me up. You know, you could take that perspective and grow. Yeah. I'm just gonna sit here, enjoy the silence for like 2, 3 more minutes, and then I'm just gonna head home. Yeah, pretty much done. That's it from me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye bye.